Hey guys, tonight we're driving the 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid. This is the H-Track all-wheel drive, limited, about $40,000 MSRP. Tonight I wanted to do a snow drive, get an idea for how this all-wheel drive system performs in the slippery stuff. We did a full review on the Santa Fe Hybrid a little bit ago, about 6 months ago, so if you want to see that, hit the link in the description. This is going to be just kind of a night drive and driving impressions video on how it drives in the snow. So let's walk you around this real quick and we'll take it out. Got a decent dusting on the ground today. We have a set of Continental all-season tires. These are cross-contact LX Sports in 235/55 R19s. On first impressions, they seem to grip pretty well out here. Nice looking headlights for night driving. Overall, this is a nicely sized crossover. Reasonably fuel efficient too. Haven't been getting the best fuel economy in the winter, but it has been cold, about 26 miles to the gallon combined. Nice and spacious back seat. Love the LED interior lighting. Pretty easy car to live with this week. We have a nice Harman Kardon sound system. The only thing I'm not too crazy about is the push button shifter. After living with it for a few days, it's not as intuitive and simple to use as a traditional shifter that you can just kind of put into gear. This you still have to look down and see what's going on down there. Minor complaint though overall. All right, let's take this thing out. So we're going to start off in just normal. When you start up this car, it starts up in eco mode. We're going to start with that. We're going to leave traction control on. This is probably going to be very front wheel driven. Then we have the option for snow mode and the ability to lock the all-wheel drive system. So that'll lock us into a 50-50 split front and rear with this H-Track all-wheel drive. And we'll notice a pretty considerable difference in the driving dynamics. We've got a few inches of snow here. Let's see how we perform. Going up a slight incline. A little bit of wheel spin, but it figures it out, sends power to the rear. Stability control is keeping us in check. Let's lock the all-wheel drive system and see what difference that makes. Immediately, I'm noticing a greater amount of power sent to the rear wheels. We're getting a little bit of a drift, actually. Let's put into snow mode, see what that does. That probably just kind of changes our throttle input. Yeah, we can get a little bit of slip angle with traction control and everything on. Nice. These Continental cross-contact tires are doing nicely in deep snow too. We've got about 6 inches down on the ground tonight. Alright, first impressions. Parking lot driving feels pretty good. We can turn everything off. We can turn traction, stability control off, but I think for the purposes of this video, we'll probably leave it on most of the drive, except for right now. So yes, you can get your hybrid Hyundai to do nice donuts and have a slide. All right, we'll go ahead and turn traction control back on. I don't quite have that much confidence in these tires tonight to hoon about. All right, let's see how it negotiates a corner here. Decent amount of front end bite from these Continentals. These are 19-inch wheels, so we don't have a ton of sidewall to cushion small bumps and imperfections. And it looks like the tires are going to talk to us just a little bit as they lose grip. I kind of like that sometimes. Encourages you to unwind the steering wheel if you've got too much slip from the front end. What about braking performance? Not a lot of grip out tonight. It is slippery. ABS feels pretty good though. Keeps a nice constant pedal pressure, seems to bring us down from a stop well. You'll notice I put us back into eco mode. I actually prefer the gauge cluster in this mode. All the other modes, except for sport, snow, and smart, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of this white gauge cluster. It's a little bit too bright and, I don't know, in your face in my opinion. We'll put us into sport mode, see what that does. We do have paddle shifters behind the wheel, so we can downshift. A little wag from the rear end. Overall, I'm pretty impressed. This is an easy car to drive in the snow. Got some uneven surfaces here, pretty deep stuff in that parking lot. Ground clearance is nice. Definitely a big difference with traction when you lock that all-wheel drive system, 50-50 front and rear. Let's head out onto the highway and see how we do. Oh boy, a little bit of a slide. I'm actually kind of surprised at how much it lets you slide around with traction stability control on. It is completely iced up right here. I'm just gonna take it slow. We got about 6 inches of snow last night. It's 4 a.m. I couldn't sleep, so I'm gonna go film a video. So hence the roads aren't quite as cleared as they would be normally. I actually really like the headlight performance at night. They do a pretty good job of illuminating everything in front of you. Looks like they don't rotate with the steering angle, but I don't know, I'm feeling pretty good here. No fog lamps. But it looks like there's something kind of built into the DRLs. I like the steering weight out of the Santa Fe. Really, pretty much my only complaint this week from a driving perspective has been there's just a slight amount of delay off the line, and the transition between hybrid, electric motor power to engine power, that transition is a little bit abrupt sometimes. It's not as smooth as I would like it. This is still an automatic transmission. It's not a eCVT or anything like that. And it's interesting driving an automatic that's connected to a hybrid drivetrain just because it's, I don't know, it's a little bit of a different driving experience. In some respects it's nice because you actually get shifts from a transmission, but in other respects it's a little bit different and has some concessions, and the delay on starts from a stop is one of those. Looks like we do have auto high beams. Let's see how those react. Gonna adjust my climate control here. Let's drive around without the all-wheel drive system locked a little bit, see how that does on the main roads. Yeah, definitely not as much rear drive traction. It feels a lot more front-wheel drive without that system 50-50 locked front and rear. But it doesn't drift as much, which might make people feel a little bit more comfortable. Yeah, overall, from the factory, I'm actually quite impressed. This is a very nice vehicle to drive in the snow. Pretty capable tire compound from the factory. The stability control and traction control system seem to be tuned pretty well. All-wheel drive system has a really nice character when you lock it, though that is maybe something that most people wouldn't even know to do who drive a Hyundai Santa Fe. I don't know. Accelerate from a stop here. I'll show you guys what I mean about that delay. So, putting my foot down now, and it just takes a second for the engine to come on. You get a little bit of forward drive from the electric motor. And then this 1.6 liter kicks in. Heated steering wheel feels nice in hand. Alright, now we've got some deep snow, or deeper snow. None of this is really that deep tonight. Lots of deep snow traction. The auto high beams seem to be struggling just a little bit with turning on for me. We're on a completely dark and deserted stretch of road here, and I actually had to just manually turn the headlights on. Yeah, I am really impressed at how well this tracks through deep snow. Well done, Hyundai. Look at that. In sport mode, too. Sport mode seems to keep the revs up a little bit more, giving you much more instant throttle response. I like that. It's actually pretty nice for snow driving because you get a pretty quick, instant amount of feedback from the gas. Looks like we're not going to turn there. We'll keep going here. We haven't really gotten a lot of snow in Michigan this year, so I'm trying to take as many opportunities to drive cars in snow as I can. Circumnavigate the plow's tracks. All right, guys. Well, there's just a quick drive in the 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid in the snow. Is it worth getting the hybrid? I don't know. With the fuel economy we've been seeing this week, I haven't been terribly impressed. And this hybrid drivetrain isn't as sweet to drive as some of its Toyota counterparts. Still though, a decent daily driver, easy to live with, very ergonomically friendly in here, and overall, nice car to spend some time in this week. Very yellow parking space. Alright guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Take care. I like how the headlamps are so low in the front bumper. That kind of gets rid of the need for fog lamps. Neat looking wheel design too. Alright guys, drive safe out there. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.